Hey everybody, happy Monday. I did a car video like I normally do on my way to work. I had my hair in a hairnet and I was looking too mammy and too mom's Mabley and just too homely. I was playing back that video. I was like, girl, you ain't looking good. Now I know I said I can't be embarrassed, which I can, but I ain't like the way I look. So I'm gonna redo it. So, how was everybody's weekend? Hope you had a good weekend. It was nice weather here on the East Coast, upper East Coast, right? I'm not New England, but upper. We higher. I'm in New York, right? So, this weekend I lived my Lowe's commercial dream. Now, if you know Lowe's commercials, it's very DIY. The husband and wife, they either painting a bathroom, child, or doing yard work in the commercials, just looking happy and healthy and in shape. Well, I did yard work because the dandelions are taking over my yard, and lawn doctor done told me that they don't do flower beds for weedings. And the weeding that they did do, they said it take about 10 days. Well, child, it been about 10 days. The weeds look sick, but they not dead. So you know what they told me? You gonna have to pull them up. Now, for all the services I buy from Lawn Doctor, it's damn near $2,000 a year. And you tell me I gotta pull it up? Well, guess what I did? Let the whole family together and we pulled up weeds. Now, the 4-year-old twins, all they did was play with the tools and dig holes for ant homes, but it was fine to get them out the house. We said dig up the weeds. They went to town murdering, just chomping. It was funny. I got a video. I'm going to post it. But first, I have to learn how to block their faces. It's not because of you subscribers. I know you guys are good. It's for the other creeps out there that potentially can have eyes on my kids. I understand and appreciate content creators that do show their children. I also understand when they don't, or when they blur up their faces, or what one content creator is doing. I'm taking her advice, which I think is a great idea. She has a couple years difference between the pictures that she posts of her kids and what they actually look like now. So for example, let's say her kids are 8. She's now posting pictures or videos of when they were 4 years old. That way you really can't ID them or anything. And of course, she doesn't give any information like what school they go to, yada, yada, yada. I know my nose is turning red, as you guys see. I rolled out my window to get some air, and the allergies are kicking my butt. So I'm going to look like, who's that? Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Anyway, don't look at the nose. I know it's the biggest part of my face. Try to look at the eyes. Anywho, so once I learned how to block their faces on the video, I'll definitely put that up in the community section. It was really cute. But that got me thinking about traditional families and marriages and child rearing and all that. Because that's, I'm crazy like that. So that's what I was thinking about as I looked on my beautiful, typical American middle-class family is this necessary? I say no. If you don't have children, that is the asterisk. Now, I know, big up to all you single parents, you single dads, you single moms. I just found out that Common raised his daughter as a single dad. Who knew? But I do know some guys who were single parents. They're married now, but they raised children on their own without the mom. And of course, I know a bunch of single moms. I'm from a single mother household, not single parent, single mama, right? I know it's possible, but is it ideal? I say no. Who the fuck doesn't want help taking care of another human being? So if you don't have children, you don't plan on having children, you guys are just bumping uglies. I don't see a benefit to marriage. You know, I heard this somewhere. I heard this somewhere, and as my marriage progresses onto year 10, it's making more sense to me that people who marry for love are just two fools with bad communication. Yeah. But like I said, if you are, two adults, your life, your business is established, what have you, before you met this person, same on their end. I don't see the benefit to get marriage, except for maybe tax implications, because, this is America. Let's not be in delusion. We're capitalists. right? And this country is based on this country's economy is based on doing right by property, land, and business owners, right? So yes, there are some financial benefits to getting married. But generally, all in all, I don't see why two people should get married if it ain't going nowhere. Contrary to popular belief, I also don't believe monogamy is necessary if you have no intention on marrying the person. Um, if y'all boyfriend and girlfriend, y'all say y'all love each other, but you know you ain't gonna marry this person, why be faithful? That's a whole different topic, child. But marriage and traditional relationships based on the society and the economy we live in, yes. Not only is it necessary, it's imperative. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't, right? That's how serious it is. For example, yes, if something tragic was to happen to my marriage and I all of a sudden find myself as a single parent, would I roll over and die when my children be destitute, running around with nappy hair and dirty clothes because I don't know how to function without a man? Absolutely not. I would go into default survivor mode and turn off, you know who I am, turn off Nikki, and just go into autopilot taking care of these kids because I'm a black woman. That's what we do, right? But is that what I want? Absolutely fucking not. That quality of life sucks. You got to take care of two. I got two. You got to take care of two other people, and you're sacrificing yourself because I'm going to have to work. There's not enough hours in the day to tend to needs of fully dependent people and tend to myself, right? I already wear wigs because I don't have time to comb my hair. My mother's like, you have such beautiful hair. I do. I don't have time to do my hair every single morning because I need to sleep. I already wake up 5:45. If I had to do my hair, even something as simple as brushing it and gelling it back into a bun, cuts 15 minutes of my sleeping time. So no, I got Meek Mill, Pop Smoke, braids under here, and I slap on this little half a wig for sleep. I'd rather sleep, right? Plus my hair texture will not stay like this in the rain. It is like misty and raining and I'm rocking somebody's Indian hair. It's just convenience and time. When I was married and I didn't have kids, my natural hair was out every day. I didn't have no kids. I literally had to be out of my house by 7 o'clock in the morning to get to work by 7:30. I wake up at 6:30. Shit, shower and shave. Shit, shower and shave. Boom. Out of the house half an hour. I don't have to leave my house till 7:30 in the morning to get to work by 8. I'm up at 5:45. Because I don't gotta get 2 kids ready. I gotta get 3 kids ready. I got a 41-year-old who I have to get ready in the morning, as well as 2 4-year-olds. But this train is way off the track. What the fuck was I talking about? Marriage, right? So as much as I complain that I got to get him ready in the morning, guess what? He's taking them to school, not me. That's one less thing on my plate. He picks them up from school, drives them 2-3 miles to aftercare, goes back to work. That's something I don't have to do. Could you imagine me doing that? Taking them to school, driving back to work, leaving work, pick them up, drive them to aftercare, go back to work, come back. Oh, child, I'm tired already just explaining it to you. And that's just one thing. If you plan on having children, marry. You know why? Oh, people could say, yes, you could raise kids. You don't have to be married. That's true. But here are 2 reasons why you don't want to do that. If something happens to you, your next of kin is not your baby daddy or your baby mama. You have underage kids, your next of kin is your parents, if they're living. If not, it is your siblings. You really want your siblings or your ancient mommy and daddy making decisions for you, not the person you're sharing a home with? That's the number one, okay? Case in point, your baby daddy's in the hospital. If he was married and has an ex-wife, that's your baby daddy, your boyfriend. Guess who has more privileges? You as the girlfriend or his ex-wife? I'll wait. His ex-wife. You really want your man's ex-wife making decisions on your behalf? Get married. Get married. Y'all live together, y'all have a kid, get married. It's more, you're more hold on to the person by having a kid than a marriage is. I don't understand people who can pop out babies and then downplay the seriousness and permanentness of marriage. No, you're tied to this person full life. If that, like, you're tied to this person beyond your life. That y'all two DNA mesh will continue on to this person. I could get a divorce in 30 days and never talk to this motherfucker again. Right? So what's more permanent, marriage or children? To me, logically, I'm an objectivist. To me, children is more permanent than marriage. Get married. 2, tax implications. When you make a certain amount of money and you're no longer head of household, you know what kicks in? Married filing jointly. Yes, baby. Yes, yes, yes. Taxes. Okay? Property. Property. My first mortgage, I did alone. I did it alone based on my income. Even though I was married, my husband's credit wasn't that great. It's great now. Wasn't that great in 2013. Okay? He had a lot of debt and a lot of student loans. So my first mortgage I did on my own. I busted my ass to get 4.73% on a co-op. Now, if you know anything about co-ops, you know co-op mortgages tend to be higher because you don't physically have any property. It's more like shares. When you have a co-op, you own shares of the whole entire building. You don't own that apartment, right? It's not like a condo. So co-op mortgages tend to be harder to get, and they are higher in interest rate. And my coworkers were paying 6. This is 2013. They were like, somebody was like, how'd you get 4.73? We got 6.9. And I, cause I'm a financialist, so I fought my ass to get that. Shopped around, sound like a rich white woman. Made sure I did not put Black or African American on my application, even though they said that won't affect nothing. It does. If you are not going for a specialized mortgage for your demographic, do not put your race on your mortgage application. Let's just be real. Don't do that. Black people tend to be denied way more than white people. I won't say put white. Don't put anything. That shit is optional for a reason. Don't put it. And when you talk to them on the phone, make sure you code switch. You sound like a rich white woman or a rich white man. Hello, right? Play the game. My second mortgage, my interest rate is 2.25%. 2.25%. I couldn't get that single. I got that because I'm married. I have another income I can use, and I look more stable because in this country, married people look more stable. What about car insurance? I have single male friends paying $200 a month. I was like, what are we, 19? I was paying $200 I remember I was paying $275 on my Mazda RX-8 insurance a month because I was 20 and I was living in Brooklyn, right? I'm damn near 40. My car, $50 a month, I think, full coverage. Maybe. I think it's 50. I think this one is $60 a month, and my husband's is maybe $50. Brand new car, full coverage, glass, $500 deductible. Check out Esurance. It's not a plug. Check it out. They're not paying me, but because I'm more stable. I'm married. One, I know how to drive, so I've never been in accidents. No shade. But yes, you get older, you're married, you have property, you're less of an insurance liability than a single person. My fuck is this? Sorry, another phone call. You're less of a liability being single and married. You're seen as more stable. That's just the world we live in, right? Another benefit to getting married. Um, what I said health. Also, when you're married, depending on your job, I know now you could do domestic partnership, but you use all could go on the same insurance. You're not paying a separate health insurance for your job. You're not paying another separate health insurance, and some employers give you an incentive not to take their insurance. Right? You need proof that you're insured somewhere else, but they give you a little change. Secret time. I met my husband at work. The payouts for the insurances were in October 1st and March 1st. I got married September. Last week in September. I was married last week in September. And you know why? Because I wanted that payout October 1st. Okay? I wasn't waiting. Why would I miss that we need more time to plan a wedding? No, we don't. I planned my wedding in 2 months? I was engaged. No, a little bit more than 2 months. I think I was engaged in March, married September. Yes. And if he had proposed in February, I would have been married before March 1st to get that payout too. I would have went to the city. I did go to City Hall just as a piece, but I would have saved my reception till later just so I could get that March 1st payout. I'm all about the dollar bills, y'all. I'm as American as apple motherfucking pie, okay? I'm all about that dead presidents, okay? Shit. Honey boo boo child, a dollar make me holler. Um, but anyway, there's benefits to getting married. And then another thing came up on the traditional projection of my relationship and marriage. I am not a traditionalist, and neither is my husband. Honestly, there were other little girls dreaming of their wedding date. Not I. No. Honestly, to be truthful, I thought I would never get married. It's not that I was against being married. I just thought it wasn't in the cards for me. And I was okay with that. Just live my life. Like I live my life one day at a time. Of course, I got a 5-year, 10-year, 15, 20-year plan, but I'm just trying to make it to Tuesday, y'all. Today's Monday. I'm just trying to make it to Tuesday. Okay, when people at my job, they be like, how you doing? They be like, living the dream, right? Other people living the dream. They be like, how you doing? I'm just trying to make it to tomorrow, baby. That's it. Right? No expectations and no disappointment. I'm just trying to make it to Tuesday. One day at a time. That's it. It's too much going on to be fucking worried about Wednesday. If I was really zen, I wouldn't even worry about tomorrow. But I'm gonna worry about tomorrow. That's it. You get one day. So, I'm not a traditionalist, right? Neither is my husband. It just so happened to work out that our life together has followed this path of traditional American middle class life. We were dating, we got into a relationship, we were engaged, we got married, we had children, a house. I don't have the white picket fence, I have bushes because that's classy and nicer, very better homes and gardens, but house, 2.5 kids, 2 car, very Americana, right? I am the family in the Sears catalog around Independence Day. The only thing that's not traditional about us is that we're interracial. But I think now that's becoming more mainstream, right? So I think about that and my family, and I'm looking at them and stuff like that. And I have evolved in my thinking to realize that there's a reason why this way is traditional and this way is ideal. And it's not based on religion and it's not based on morals. It's just what optimizes your quality of life, especially if you're going to have children or a business. So When we were dating and when we were together, we were broke. Okay. Chicken, beans, rice. At that time, broccoli was $1, right? So it was a lot of chicken, beans, rice, broccoli, right? We were poor and broke in the sense of collectively we had a dream to upgrade our lives together. But that is not where my husband's head was at. 2 years have gone by, and my husband, boyfriend at the time, was not making any moves to propose. And it's not that I wanted him to propose because I felt like I wanted to be a married woman. I wanted him to propose because my 5-year plan involved upgrading our lives financially and making certain moves that I would not make with a boyfriend, for his security and for my security as well. I wanted a partner, a teammate in this plan to really spearhead our upgrade, right? What's that Beyonce song? Let me upgrade you. And I didn't want to do it alone. It was possible for me to do it alone. I didn't want to do it alone. So, yeah. So I started putting out hints about marriage, and he flat out told me, I do want to marry you. I intend on marrying you. I just want to make sure my finances are in order before we get married. Sorry, another phone call. It's going to be a little like fade into this, right? Excuse the fade. So yes, he had this heart to heart to me about getting his finances and his credit in order so that he can buy me a big old nice expensive ring and I could have this big old wedding. And he wanted to get some of his debt down. And I'm glad that he opened up to me because he was a little standoffish. And I think it's a pride. You know, I'm married to a Puerto Rican machismo. So him being vulnerable was very hard for him, but it was the best thing ever. And I don't think he realized that I was not that type of woman. And I believe majority of us are. I'm married for love. That's it. That is it. As corny as it sounds, I didn't marry for looks. I didn't marry for money. I didn't marry for that. I married for love and $500 insurance stipend. No. I would have married him without the stipend. It just wouldn't have been a hurry. But I'm glad he opened up to me because he could have given me a, a Walmart ring, just something that want to turn my hand orange. He could have given me anything. He was able to open up like this is our humble beginnings. Like, I'm not shading my husband. Like, I'm very emotional when I think about it because the how pure it was how pure it was. The minute his credit was acceptable, he went out and opened a store card to buy me a ring. It was less than 1 carat. He did so much research. It was less than 1 carat, but the shape of it, the top of it was the size of a carat. It's pretty much flawless. I told him I'm very, very simple. I'm not a glitzy, glammy, girly girl. It was a solitaire engagement ring. And when I tell you, at the time, on my size 11 and a half finger, my finger swallowed that stone. But guess who rocked that shit like it was 14 motherfucking carats? I did. And I think most women would. This ring that I have now, that I wear now, is not the solitaire that he proposed with. And that is because when the babies came, it's is it cathedral? I don't know. It's raised and it would scratch the babies, right? So I found myself taking it off and putting it in a box. And for our 7th year anniversary, he bought this for me, and it has 7 stones, and ran circles around the price of the regular ring. But after 7 years of being married, were we in the same place we were in 2010? No, everything had upgraded. So it's very humble. It was a very humbling conversation for both he and I. I was hurt that he felt the need that he had to do that for me. And he was hurt that he could not do that for me. And I think that's why it says couples who marry for love are fools with bad communication. And that's bad communication. We had to work on that. I had to give, he had to give. I had to let go, he had to let go. But I say all of this to say, if you know a young man, or if you're dating a man and you want him to marry you, 9 times out of 10, he wants to marry you too. And what happens is that the men think they have to be at a certain level before they propose, and shit happens, and the woman feels slighted, that they end up breaking up and never getting married. And I feel that if you wait until your finances are in order, and you wait until her finances are in order, then you end up being like that shithole soccer player who put all of his assets in his mother's name, and now that when his wife wants to divorce him, he don't own shit. So he's not going to have anything. But when you have a relationship like Jeff Bezos, or Bezos, I'm going to say Bezos, whose wife was with him when he was a nothing. He had nothing. And when it was time to divorce, he did it with a smile on his face. He absolutely had no problem splitting the assets 50-50. You know why? He had enough respect for her to acknowledge the fact that she was with him when he had nothing. Same thing with Bill and Melinda Gates. They were together, what, in college? When Microsoft was just an idea? If you build a foundation together and you do all of this together, if you have to separate, I'm not going to say when, because I don't want to put that bad juju on nobody. If you have to separate, there's no ill will and no hard feelings, because you're not splitting your asset. You are splitting y'all's asset. This is something that y'all did together. Okay, let's say that Jeff Bezos was the brainchild behind Amazon, even though he has flat out come out and say that his wife was a pivotal part of it. But for argument's sake, let's just say it was all his idea, and she actually didn't do anything per se in Amazon. Okay, but she took care of the house. She took care of his needs. She might have worked while he stayed home putting his brainchild together and pay some bills, yada, 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 yada. Of course she was involved. Whether she was involved indirectly or not. Same thing with my husband. My husband has many talents. Finance and business, that's me. I'm the finance and business person. I'm the business-minded person. I got my master's degree while we were together. I started getting my master's. And then 2 months later, I found out I was pregnant. I finished after a year and 9 months, a year and 7 months, or whatever, less than 2 years it took me to finish. I had newborns. Who you think was watching these kids while I was going to the library studying, staying late at work so I could study, doing group projects at Panera Bread? Who you think watched those kids? When I had to take exams in the house, taking the kids out of the house, my husband. No, he didn't, read a book to me and did my papers and projects, but he took care of the home. Was very understanding when we ate takeout for a year, no lie. Pizza, Chinese food takeout for a year. I wasn't cooking shit. I was cramming. Studying, 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 studying. You think he complained because he had Chinese food three, four times a week? Nope. So you build up together. You both have an appreciation for the baby you created, whether that is an actual baby or business. Marriage, that's where marriage comes into play. Um, it's not just a piece of paper in this country. Like this, I'm not talking about religious reasons for getting married and not having sex. I'm not religious at all. I'm talking about capitalist society, Americana, why there's benefits to being married, and why, please, men, do not wait until you get your shit in order to propose. To propose. Actually, a woman knows if she's going to marry you or not way early into the relationship. Way early. I want to say maybe after about 6 months, but it might even be quicker than that. We already know if you we already know if you're worthy to marry, and we already know if you're worthy to give you a baby to very early. Very, 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 very early. And I knew my husband was husband material and father material while we were friends. We weren't even dating. Me and my husband were friends first. Like homeboy, homegirl, that's my nigga friends first. And I knew, I said, this man gonna make a good husband and a good father to somebody. I wasn't even thinking it was gonna be for me. I said, now that's a catch right there. He gonna make some woman very, very happy. We already know if we're gonna marry or not. Don't procrastinate. Start, get your get your marriage going, get your foundation started, and you guys pour the cement on that foundation together. You will appreciate each other more. You will appreciate the struggle more. And if your marriage dissolves, it's not going to be hard for you guys to split the assets because y'all worked on it together. Nobody could feel a loss in separating assets if you both equally were there at the time that you got it. Now, if I worked and bust my ass off and I'm making all this money and then I married my husband who's not financially on my level and the marriage dissolves and I got to pay this motherfucker alimony, I'm be mad as fuck. And I got to give him half of my money and half of my pension. I'm going to be mad as fuck. But no, that will never happen to me because we were poor together. We started out poor and we grew and grew and grew and grew as a couple, then as parents, to where we are now, comfortably, by definition, straight middle class. And when people say, oh, I want to wait till I get financially stable, I'm sorry to bust your bubble. There's no such thing. It is a myth. It is a unicorn. To be financially stable, you know what happens when you make more money? Your life upgrades, because that is what is supposed to happen. We have upgraded multiple times. Upgraded cars, upgraded homes, upgraded our food. I used to buy food from Food Bazaar. And actually, has it been over 10 years? I would buy 50 for 50 stamps. Like I know somebody who would give me $100 in food stamps and I would give them $50. That's how I survived. You think we were drinking organic milk, eating organic vegetables? No, we were drinking full of hormone milk, manager special chicken, buying chicken quarters for 29 cents a pound that were huge like turkey legs that took an hour to clean and get off the fat and make look presentable, and be in the kitchen for hours doing that, meal prepping and stuff. Give my husband non-organic milk and see if he don't fart up the whole house. We drink organic milk. We buy pasteurized, free range, bougie ass eggs. Name brand coffee creamer. I used to get his coffee creamer from Aldi's. Now this motherfucker's drinking International Delight and Coffee Mate. Poland Spring waters. Name brand snacks. Nike shoes, Hoka shoes. You know what happens when you make more money? Your quality of life improves because that's what's supposed to happen. And then when you get more money, you have to have a nest egg because that's what people with money do. You think when we were broke, I had 6 months to a year's worth of savings to live on? Hell fucking no. Guess what? I have that now. But guess what? It's never enough because you're always worried that it's never enough. So there's no such thing as being financially stable. We have our savings in place. Guess what? My son's teeth are crooked. I'm saving for that. I know he gonna need braces. He can't see for shit. He gonna need glasses. It's always something. It's always gonna be something. So you're always going to be monitoring your dollar. So you're never ever financially stable. Don't wait to get married. Now, I'm not saying children. I didn't say children. I don't think you should be poor, desolate, and be irresponsible trying to have a child. If it happens, it happens. But I don't think you should be like really, 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 really at the bottom and purposefully trying to bring a child into the world. No, I'm talking about marriage. Marriage. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all could be poor together. You could live in your car together. Start from the bottom together. If you're a person that does not want to be alone, most people don't want to be alone, and you have a business upgrade mindset, get married. If you just want to bump uglies and live your life as a single person, just being carefree, and you might have a long-term partner, no shade to that. That sounds like a motherfucking good time. But if that's you, then you don't need to get married because you're not sharing your life with anybody. You're not sharing assets, goals, dreams with anybody. But if you are, there are benefits to marriage. And this is coming from the most blackest, fattest, feminist, non-traditionalist ever. I am a objectivist and a realist. We live in America. There's a reason why married people get more benefits, pay less taxes than single people. That's my TED Talk for today. Bye.